Celebration Day, a day that we honor and remember those who gave us birth and life, who taught us all the skills we need to grow and get along with others, how to eat and dress, how to play nice and not burp in public. Mothers taught us all the right ways to do things and all the things to avoid. The job comes without a manual or a set of instructions, although my daughter believed me for a long time when I told her they didn't give me the manual when I left the hospital. It stayed there. But basically, each mother is on her own to figure out how to bring up a solid, compassionate, God-loving, law-abiding citizen. It's not an easy job, but one that we pray to do well. It's the most wonderful, joyful, learning experience, life-changing, heartbreaking job there is. And we celebrate with those whose children do well, tops in their class, saving the world. And we weep with those whose children stumble and fall. We celebrate the joys and victories, and we cry with broken dreams. In 1 minute, a mother is the smartest woman on earth. And in the next, we morph into the world's stupidest person. Just to be seen or be seen breathing is enough to embarrass a child. I have been asked, do you have to stand there? And yet, we persevere. The Bible is full of stories about mothers. Well, duh. For every Moses and David, there was a mother. And it's easy to find stories that speak about our own mothers and about ourselves. There were women like Elizabeth who wanted children and couldn't until later in life. Mothers like Rebecca, who schemed and connived to make sure her favorite son received the blessing. Women like Ruth, who left what was familiar in her own country and went to live in a foreign land and marry one of her father-in-law's relatives. There's Hannah, who prayed for a child, and then when he came, left him at the temple to be raised by the priest in her gratitude to God. And many, many more examples. And so I chose this whole story in Genesis, the story of hope. Sarai had just had her name changed to Sarah, and she and Abraham, being nomadic people, have set up their tent, and maybe it was in a good spot for the sheep and the cattle to forage. Hagar has already given birth to Ishmael, and the promise has been given of many descendants. And so they come to this place, and they set up camp and continue life as normal. But one day, as Abraham is sitting there, he looks up and sees 3 men standing there. Who they are, how they're dressed, or how they even got there, we're not told. And they must have been men worthy of respect, because Abraham bows low before them. A meal is quickly pulled together, the visitors are invited to eat, and Abraham sees to their every need. And then one of the men asks, "Where is Sarah?" How does he know her name? Clearly they were strangers and had only just now come upon Abraham and his group. And again, we're not told. But once again, the promise is given. Sarah will have a son. She's close by, listening, and giving a good chuckle. I mean, an old woman like me giving birth? You gotta be kidding. And the visitors either have acute hearing or they have some inner understanding because they want to know why Sarah laughed. Ever been caught listening in on a conversation? Didn't your mother tell you not to do that? But the question is asked, is anything too hard for the Lord? A question that still resonates with us. If God is so powerful, why can't he stop my child's addictions? Why did my child get pregnant in high school? Why is my child in prison? Living with the questions is not something that's easy or comfortable for us to do. Being a mom isn't only the oldest profession, but it's the most difficult one as well. The challenges we face are each unique to our own. In the United Methodist Church, today isn't just Mother's Day. It's also known as the Festival of the Christian Home Sunday. So not only do mothers face challenges and tough challenges, it's families who work together to work things out together. Families who face trials and difficult times together. And I wonder if that's so that when the good times roll, the bonds are strengthened, the love is rekindled, and that joy is remembered. Or are there difficult times for us to turn once again to God? To be reminded of God's promise, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. The promise of I am with you when the bottom falls out, when we feel swamped by life, or when we can't hold the joy in any longer. Or maybe it's all about sacrifice. Maybe a day like today calls us to remember the sacrifice our mothers made for us. Many working outside the home when she'd rather be inside it, giving the best food to you, taking the scraps for herself, making sure you had all the right clothes for school, while she made do with last year's winter coat that should have been replaced 3 years ago. And of course, the same sacrifices we've made and make for our children, going without so they can have. And then we remember Jesus and the sacrifice he made for us. With his mother watching, her heart breaking, he hung on the cross, giving up his life so that ours could be eternal. Even from the cross, Jesus found someone to care for his mother. He tells the disciple he loved, "Here is your mother." And from then on, we read, the disciple took her into his home. There's a tenderness there. Look after, care for, be compassionate toward your mother. And maybe that can also be said for those whose mothers are now in heaven. Look after, care for, be compassionate toward your memories. We are bonded to our mothers in unique ways. All mothers have tried to do the best they could with what they had. Sometimes it worked well, sometimes it didn't. But in the places where a mother's love failed, Christ's love for us shines through. His love for us never fails. When I was a chaplain at St. Vincent's Hospital, I responded to a call for a terminal wean. It means the life support machine was turned off, so to speak, and it began that gradual process of shutting down and allowing the patient to die. The patient was a 32-year-old woman who had spent too much of her life in drugs. Her mother was beside her on one side of the bed, and her sister and brother-in-law on the other side, her only family. And as the machine became silent, the mother leaned down and kept repeating close to her daughter's ear, "I love you, Sherry. I love you." She wanted to be sure those were the last words her daughter heard. Don't we too hope those will be the last words we hear? And they will be. be the voice of Jesus. Let us pray. Mother God, thank you for the gift of mothers and all that they mean to us. Make this day special for all that we can do to honor those who gave us birth, those who are now in heaven, and those we have given the gift of life to. Praise and thank you, Lord. Praise and thank you. Amen.